There's 120 missing people, and I think it's 80 unsolved mysteries. So it's roughly a little over 200 people.
Matt, you're being a little modest because you're a full-on fucking investigator. You getting to the bottom of this Garth Brooks shit. All right, you are definitely an investigator. Can you tell us?
Yeah, man.
Can
Listen,
You have me googling Garth Brooks. Like, I want to solve a crime now.
listen. My buddy Pete and I wrote this book, and I mean, I never had so much fun. We laughed and giggled, and it's real like a bunch of 12-year-old girls joking about this whole thing. Like, it was just fucking funny as shit. And I was hoping to get on Tom Segura's show, his podcast,
right?
but he doesn't. He's the one that started the whole
I
rumor.
do recall that. That's why I was familiar when I saw yours. I said, "Wait, Matt is now in on this. Let's see what's going on here."
Oh, listen, nobody's done more research than Pete and I. We did more research than anybody. Listen, months and months and months. No, I mean, we have cases, we have dates, we have locations, we've got everything. Like, nobody's put this shit together like we have.
So I just wanted to give
Excellent.
the people a quick breakdown. Tom Segura, comedian Tom Segura, that's on Joe Rogan Experience as a regular for many years. A couple of years ago, started talking about the rumors of Garth Brooks being a serial terminator. Okay, and coinciding dates with with his tour, right? Dates of people missing and bodies found and stuff like that. And then I let you go from there, Matt.
So I did an interview with a girl named Stacey Lee, a woman named Stacey Lee, who has a channel about true crime and mysteries and stuff. And we did she just kind of told me about it. And so we did a 1 hour interview about her channel, her channel, and Garth Brooks. And while I was talking about it, she explained to me that Segura had started this rumor, and she had told me she started looking into it, but she really didn't have enough time to look into it. And I said, "Has anybody ever written a book?" And she said, "No." She said, "But the rabbit hole is long and traverse." And that she's like, "There's tons of stuff on Reddit, on TikTok." And I went, "You know what?" I said, I think I can look into this. I'm going to look into this. So Pete and I looked into it, and we hired a couple researchers. We researched all the dates, put together a whole timeline. So we have an actual list. Mm-hmm. It's 120. There's 120 missing people, and I think it's a 80 unsolved mysteries. So it's roughly a little over 200 people, and they correspond with tour dates. Now, Garth Brooks has over 1,000 tour dates, but it corresponds with tour dates and times when he was at the Grammys or the Billboard Music Awards or different places he's lived. And so we kind of dovetailed everything in and wrote a book about it. So the book is in two parts. One part is basically a story of Garth Brooks's life and how he could possibly be linked to these murders. And then the other half of the book is just the raw data that we came up with, and what each murder or missing person case, the basic information on people if they want to look into it. And listen, I did one podcast on it with a buddy of mine, Danny Jones, talked about it for 30-40 minutes at the most. And people, he cut it up into 5 different TikToks. 3 of them got over 1 million views. And other people started cutting it up, and they started making TikToks, and some of those have millions of views. This is just one. And I just we just talked about it. Like, it was just one of many things we talked about in like a 3-hour interview, and it just went, semi-viral. And so I think I'm going to go out and start really kind of promoting the book.
Right.
And, pushing that whole thing. And really all we're really doing is we're just looking into the allegations that Tom Segura started,
Right. Or at least got to him, and he publicized with the amount of platform that he has.
Yes. And let me tell you something. Some of these you look at and you're like, listen, I admittedly, it's confirmation bias and it's coincidence, but damn.
Right.
Some of these things you're like, this is this is getting to be airy. This is getting to be really, really odd and
eerie.
It's some of the coincidences are just uncanny. Like right. you get to a point where you're like, you can't really shrug it off. It's like right. he's been close to so many missing people and unsolved homicides. You get to a point where you're like, geez, I mean,
trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, but
well, because how silly is this? It's silly.
Yeah.
But
until
boy,
you start seeing hardcore numbers, you start seeing numbers. And you're like, wait a minute, this. I mean, that's what investigations are, aren't they?
Well, listen, and interviewed a retired FBI agent, interviewed 2 psychiatrists, interviewed a roadie. Bro, we looked at it. We interviewed some people. We really looked into it. It's a good. You read it. Everybody that's read it has been like, whoa. The only people I've gotten a couple comments where people are like, oh, it's not what I expected. There was no really hardcore evidence. Like. You didn't really think right. I was going to convince you that he's a fucking serial killer. Right. Like, you didn't. What did you think? I had DNA evidence? Like, I'm telling you, this is how it dovetails in, and the places he's been, and the coincidences, and it's an overwhelming amount of coincidences, But no, at the end of the book, am I going to convince you that Garth Brooks is a serial killer? Like, no, like of course not. If I could do that, he'd be arrested right now.
Right? Have they reached out? They haven't reached out on some fucking stop talking about us type shit, have they?
No, listen, they've never reached out to Tom Segura.
Right. And now you said you tried to get on with Tom. How did that go? What was up with that?
Well, I spoke with his producer, nice guy. A friend of a friend put me in contact with him. Nice guy. But according to him, Segura doesn't want to be a part of this anymore. Like he's done. He feels like he's exhausted it. And I thought, okay, well, I wrote a book. He's still going to go ahead and do one more podcast. Like this. This is the quintessential work on the subject, right? Like this is the definitive work on the subject is my book. Mm-hmm. So he's going to have me on for sure. And the producer spoke with him and he said, yeah, man, I've exhausted it. I'm done with it. I don't want to push. I just don't want to do it anymore. Right. I don't want to talk about it anymore. And so that's it. He doesn't want to have me on the show and that's fine. Here's what I'm wondering. So here's what kind of came out during our info while we were looking into this is that that Garth is, they call him the liberal cowboy. So Garth has he played at the inauguration or for Joe Biden. Mm-hmm. He played at like one of the campaigns or something. For Kamala Harris. I think he's donated money when remember the whole Moldovi thing with the Bud Light. I forget what the guy's name is. Justin Moldovi, whatever. That Bud Light thing, right. Garth, all the other bars owned by these country music people in Nashville, they all stopped carrying Bud Light. But Garth didn't.
Right.
Garth is big into trans this and trans that and gay marriage and all these things. And so as a result of all of that, it kind of came out. I started hearing rumors that like he was like a protected person of the deep state. Mm. And so what I'm thinking happened is maybe he had somebody reach out to Segura and say, hey, enough with this. Mm-hmm. And Segura said, hey, I'm done. Like I'm not saying Garth pulled him aside, because I think you would know about that. But I think it's not hard for someone to reach out on Garth's behalf and go to Segura and say, hey, enough with it. Right. Shut it down. Right. Now, nobody's reached out to me, but, I just jumped on this bandwagon.
Right.
Well, I'm thinking maybe some deep state shit.
Hey, it's not hard. A good troll, a good scammer troll could pull that off. You know what I'm saying? Hit him up and put the fear into him. I felt like that about Rogan at one time. Like, did they get to you, Rogan? Did they tell you to chill the fuck out?
Something's happening.
You know what I'm saying?
Something's happening. Yeah.